Hey guys, my name is Haley and today I'm going to be filming my TBR for the Cramathon that is happening in this coming week. This round of the Cramathon takes place from December 16th to the 23rd, and it is being hosted by Whitney from Whitty Novels and April from Aprilius Maximus. So there are 7 challenges, so I'm going to get into those right now. The first challenge is to read a book under 200 pages, and for that I'm going with The Giver by Lois Lowry. I think I actually read this in middle school, but I realized a couple years ago when I saw the movie that I didn't remember anything that happened, and I don't know if I think the movie was quite different from the book, but it still really made me want to reread this, so I'm adding this to my TBR. The second challenge is to read 2 books in 24 hours. I'm planning on reading Ho 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 for that reason. If not, I'll end up reading it for a different challenge or just to read it during the readathon because it is December and Christmas is coming. But I also have the last 3 volumes of the Black editions of Death Note to read, so I'm hoping to read volume 4 before the readathon even starts, because I'm about to start it today actually. So I should only have these 2 to read, but these will be added to my TBR, whichever ones I don't get to before the readathon starts on Friday. So I'm hoping to read one of those, or maybe 2 of them in 24 hours, whichever books end up happening. The third challenge is to read a book set in a different country than where you live, and for that I'm choosing City of Thieves by David Benoff? I don't know. I believe this is set in Russia because I know that's one of Reagan's favorite places to read about in historical fiction, and I heard about this book through her channel, so this is also relatively short, so I'm hoping to get through it pretty quickly. The fourth challenge is to read a book that you've been putting off or that you've been meaning to read for forever. And for that, I'm hoping to read Broken Crowns, which is the 3rd and final book in the Internment Chronicles trilogy, the first book being Perfect Ruin. I read the first book in one sitting online, like on an ebook format, which I never do, so I really loved it. And then I read the second book maybe a year or so later and didn't love it as much, so I've been kind of putting off the ending to the series, but I do want to finish the trilogy and see how it all ends. Challenge number 5 is to read a book with pictures, and I plan on reading Wicked, the Grimmery, which is just about the musical, which I planned on reading when, like, right after I went and saw the show. But I didn't end up getting to it, and it's just one of the musical books regarding, like, things to do with the show and the characters and all of that, so this has tons of pictures in it, so definitely applies, and it's the only one of my, like, musical books that I haven't read yet besides Next to Normal, so, and Next to Normal doesn't have pictures, but this one does. Challenge number 6 is to read a graphic novel or manga, and I'm gonna read both. I'm planning on reading the Pendragon graphic novel, and like I said, I'm not holding all of them up again, but whichever one of the Death Notes I don't get to before the readathon starts, I plan on finishing this series this year. And I know Cramathon is supposed to be like getting books off of your TBR shelves and stuff like that, and I don't actually own the Death Notes, they're my friends, so I'm kind of cheating a little bit, but I want to finish this series, and I will own them eventually because I love this series, just not right now. And then the last challenge is to read 7 books in total, and I'm pretty sure that is well over 7 books. But another book that I do plan on getting to during the time period of the readathon is Heartless by Marissa Meyer, just because I've heard such mixed things about this. I just got it for super cheap at Target, and now that I own it, I just kind of want to read it and see what my own opinions are on it, so I'm not, like, put off by it anymore when I keep hearing reviews of people that didn't like it, so I want to form my own opinion before I see too many of the negative reviews. Plus, I love Alice in Wonderland, so I'm very intrigued, and I heard the Mad Hatter's in this, and the Mad Hatter is my favorite, one of my absolute favorite literary characters of all time, so I'm very interested to see how he's portrayed in this. And then, because I'm overly ambitious and I feel like some of those I'll be able to read relatively quickly, I am going to choose from one of these 2 books to read because I'm just feeling like throwing a contemporary in there because a lot of that is like not contemporary. It's like a lot of fantasy and like a Christmas book and a bunch of Death Note, which can get intense. So I wanted to throw a contemporary in there, and I'm either going to read The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry or I'm going to read The Rosie Project. I'm leaning more towards The Rosie Project right now, but we'll see how I feel later on in the week. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to be reading all of these things, but there's my TBR for the Cramathon this round, and I would definitely not be reading every single one of them. Probably maybe like 8 of them. We'll see. But thank you all for watching, and I will see all of you guys next time.